When it comes to the roster, there's always going to be those characters that you want to return, but they ultimately don't end up making it into the next game. Examples would be like Rain from MK9 to MKX, which we all know that was a mistake, and Noob Saibot from MK9 to MKX. I think we can all say that we heavily felt their absence, and I think it's inevitable that we're going to get some characters that are from MKX but won't make it into MK11. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about just that very topic and discussing and speculating on who will not return for Mortal Kombat 11. But first, let me know in the comments who you think won't return in MK11 from MKX's set of characters. Let's start off with the obvious ones that won't return. We have the guest characters who never return in any NetherRealm game, so we can easily put them in the trash. And then we have the characters who died in Mortal Kombat X, and those characters are Baraka, Mileena, Quan Chi, and kind of Shinnok. Like, he's still alive, but he's nothing more than just a head. Now, I know all of these are popular characters that a lot of people like, but I think it's about time that they sit out. I mean, Baraka really hasn't been doing anything cool for so long besides look cool, so I'm glad NetherRealm is probably giving him a rest for now. I know people say Quan Chi is too popular of a character to sit out, and they're expecting him for MK11, but honestly, I think that's a false claim. If I'm not mistaken, Quan Chi was one of the least played characters in both MK9 and MKX. And at this point, NetherRealm knows they've had Quan Chi in their games for too long, and because of that, it kind of just overshadowed the best original sorcerer, and that being Shang Tsung. And I believe Shang Tsung is going to get his main spotlight in this game. Finally, having Scorpion kill Quan Chi was the perfect way to send him off. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about Mileena, because I know a lot of people really want to see her again in MK11, and even though I can't say for sure, I highly, and I mean highly doubt she will be in the next game. I see all of these people putting up videos like with titles like, oh, ways Mileena can return or be resurrected, and I'm here like, hold up there. Whoever said Mileena was ever returning? Like, I don't see these kinds of videos for Baraka or Quan Chi. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad to theorize about it, because I did the same kind of video a long time ago, but I'm just saying, let's not assume she's gonna be in the game just because she's a fan favorite. Now, I know some of you may say that death doesn't matter in Mortal Kombat and she can easily return, and while that is true, I think in this scenario, I think it does matter. I mean, Liu Kang died in MK Deadly Alliance and he wasn't on the roster for that game. Quan Chi and Shang Tsung died in Deception and they weren't on the roster either. And Mileena's story has already been told, and if she comes back, you know all she's gonna do is just start stuff with Kotal Khan again, and we just had a game where Mileena was at war with Kotal Khan. There's no need to repeat that because that'll just be a drag. Another argument that you might bring up, and this will be the final one that I talk about, is, oh well, the Joker came back and he was dead in the last game and there was no reason to bring him back. Well guys, the reality is that the Joker will always be a part of every big DC game or title, whatever it is. If your title is based around getting all these big DC characters together, the Joker will always be a part of it, and it'll be that way until the end of time. Basically, the Joker is a staple into anything DC related, and the same cannot be said about Mileena for Mortal Kombat. She is no staple. The only female staple in Mortal Kombat is Kitana, and maybe Sonya. We'll see about that if she ends up in MK11, but Kitana definitely will be in MK11. So that's it for the dead characters. Now let's move on to the Mortal Kombat DLC characters from MKX, which are Bo' Rai Cho, Tanya, Tremor, Goro, and Triborg. Now, there are only 2.5 characters I see not returning. The two are Tremor and Goro. Currently, I don't think the absence of those two will make any difference, and you really don't see people campaigning for them anyways. I'm not saying they don't have fans, but you really don't see people rallying behind them to return like you would see for Mileena, or Kitana, or Cassie Cage, or Aaron Black, you know, those characters. Now, the other character is Triborg, and he's that half character. The reason why I say this is because I do think that we will get Triborg in the next game, but not as Triborg, but just as Sector, without Cyrax and Smokes' moves, of course. I have a strong feeling, and I mean a really strong feeling, that the writers are just going to write off that Triborg was actually Sector all along, and the whole Takunin story about him being the founder of the Takunin clan that was in his ending is just going to go all to Sector, because in the original timeline, Sector was the leader and founder of the Takunin clan, and also, if you take a look at Triborg's intros, which is where you'll get the idea of his personality, It's the exact same as Sectors. There would literally be no difference if you just wrote off Triborg as a non-canon character and it was really just Sector all along. Enough said. Alright, the next set of characters that I want to talk about are those who are questionable about not returning. Like, it can go either way, and those are the parent characters, or the ones who are related to the Kombat kids, and Kano. Like, since he doesn't have an offspring, I also think he should be put in the category of questionable about not returning. Like, Kano's story has finally been told. Sonya finally caught him and locked him up. I just don't see why you would need to bring Kano back, because all he's gonna do is just troll Sonya and sell guns to people. And to me, that's just getting old. Kano can sit out. Anyways, back to those parent characters, which are Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Jax, Kenshi, and Kung Lao. Now, Kenshi, I think he's a safe bet to be put into the game, since his story with Takeda on hunting down the Red Dragon is very important and requires both of them. But as for Johnny Cage, Sonya, Jax, and Kung Lao, it's really hard to say, because here's the thing. If the whole point of Johnny's line in the MKX story, where he says, "Us old folks are gonna retire someday, so it's time for your generation to step up," was to simply imply that they won't return in the next game, then I don't see why you need them to return. Like, why would you put in that line if they're just gonna return over and over again? I also think it's better for the parents not to be in the game. That way you actually give the kids some room for development as their own Mortal Kombat characters. Like, I don't want to see Cassie doing Johnny's nut punch or Jackie with metal arms and similar moves to Jax, and the same with Cassie to Johnny when they are both in the same game. Cassie should do some other cool things with that green energy and brawling fighting style that aren't so similar to Johnny. A good example would be Takeda, who is nothing like Kenshi and is similar to Scorpion since he was trained by him his entire life, but enough to make him seem like his own character. Also Kung Jin with his bow and arrows. That is also very different than Kung Lao. But again, I am not so sure if NetherRealm is going to let these characters go, because these are the same characters who keep coming back every Mortal Kombat game, and it would not really surprise me if they came back again. I just want the Kombat kids to be in a Mortal Kombat game without their parents and act as an actual passing of the torch. But remember guys, this is just me speculating about who won't return. I could totally be wrong with the characters that I think won't be in the game. My thoughts may be different than yours, and that's okay. That's what we're here for, is to exchange different opinions. So I ask you again, who do you think will not return in MK11 from MKX's roster? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, be sure to click that like button if you enjoyed today's video, and subscribe for more Mortal Kombat 11 videos. That's going to be it for me today, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.